for a scorcher of a day today. So we're going to have a barbecue with a crowd, and I'm going to make focaccia. Now I bake it in an oblong shallow tin like this. I'll give you the dimensions at the end, and then I prove the dough in a plastic box, because what happens is once it's proofed, I then tip it onto this tray. Let me show you how I make it. So I brush my tin with lining paste to start with, and then into my clean plastic box I'm adding my olive oil. In the bowl of my stand mixer I'm adding yeast, flour, salt. I've got 400 mils of warm water here, but I'm not going to add it all. I'll add about 3/4. On with the dough hook. This isn't clean, by the way, because I've just mixed another batch of bread dough. Slow speed. Then when it begins to clump into the bowl like this, I add the rest of the water. Still on a minimum speed, but you can see it's a very wet dough. So it's starting to look smooth. It's been going maybe 3 or 4 minutes, so I'm just going to increase the speed slightly. So you can see now it's looking quite smooth, but it's obviously a sticky dough. I'll increase the speed. You see how stretchy it is. Scrape off. Now with my bowl of very sticky dough, I'm going to pour it, tip it into this box that's got the oil in. I'll scrape off that dough. I use a bench scraper for this bit, and I flip the dough on all 4 sides, like that. Into the middle, and then as best way as you can, flip the whole lot over so that those seams are underneath. And just leave it like that for its first rise. Cover with a lid and leave it in a warm place. It needs about 35 degrees, but it's warm here today. Okay, so after an hour or so, might be just over an hour, it's doubled in size. We want super big holes in this focaccia, so I'm going to repeat that folding, again using my bench scraper. Get in there, fold it over, and you see, and with the other side. And then as best you can, get those joins underneath. So it's looking like that. For rise number 2. So here we are after the second rise. You can see I've got some nice bubbles coming here and there. Now many recipes will just leave it at that, but I like to do a third rise. So again, just the same, fold from the side into the middle. And then try as best you can to flip it over. And back on with the lid. Okay, so after my third rise, I've got some nice bubbles going on inside that dough. And then taking my tin that I prepared earlier, off with the lid, on with the tin. Got to flip it over. left off my box. And then using your fingers, make those, just gently push that dough so it evens itself out in the tin. I'm going to leave that for about half an hour. I'm not going to wash this box yet. I'm leaving it standing upended like that because I want the oil that's left to gather in the corner, because I'll drizzle that on at the end of the baking. Okay, so after half an hour it's puffed up nicely. You can put on whatever you want. You can put peppers or small cherry tomatoes. I'm just going with rosemary, chopped rosemary leaves scattered around, a few pieces of chopped red chilli. This is frozen chilli from last year that I grew. It's just started to thaw out a little bit. A scattering of sea salt. And then into the oven for 20-25 minutes. Then that drop of oil that's left, I'm just going to drizzle over the hot bread. This will be here soon. Nothing wrong with that.